What's going on, guys? Teen Mechanic here. Today, I've got something incredibly special. Now, a while back, I actually hinted about having something pretty special, which is Monaco Blue. I don't know if I really alluded to the whole SS thing, but I did tell certain people that I'd have on SS on the channel. I didn't tell you what it was, what year, anything like that. For all anyone could have known, it could have been a new Chevy SS. But this here is no new Chevy SS. This is a 1963 Chevy Impala SS. Now, this isn't just any Impala SS, it's my grandpa's Impala SS that he's had since actually just after I was born in 2006. This thing he got, I think it was on Father's Day. And oh boy, there is a absolutely crazy story that goes along with it. So I'll summarize over the story real quick. Back in 1962 or 1963, one of those years, I can't remember exactly, my grandpa bought a brand new 1963 Chevy Impala SS that was Monaco Blue. It was exactly this car. It had a blue interior, Monaco Blue exterior, 327 small block, just like this one. So anyway, he owned it. I'm not sure exactly how long he owned it in 1963, but he absolutely adored it. I think it might have been the first new car that he ever owned. It was absolutely extraordinary for him. Very significant time in his life to own something like this. It was a beautiful car. He absolutely loved it. He had some work done on it at a shop that I honestly couldn't tell you the name of. It was back in the 60s, so I really don't know. But either way, that'll be important later. Anyway, I think he was bringing my grandma home, or he was bringing her back to his house or something like that, and he parked it. I think it was something along the lines of that, and then he went inside for a short time. I think it was raining. It was nighttime. Anyway, he came back outside, and it was gone. That's a pretty scary sight to see that your beloved, favorite, brand new Impala is gone, and you have no idea where it went. So anyway, long story short, he theorized that shop that he dropped the keys off at and had the work done on this thing at, he theorized that they made a copy of the key and stole it, which actually makes a little bit of sense. And you know, back then, I mean, you know, that was before immobilizers and all that stuff. So I mean, this is really quite an extraordinary car. Now, skip forward several years from, say, 63 to 2006. My dad and my uncle went out and they bought this in Anaheim, California. Now, this car was a bright blue, pretty close to the interior actually, and it was all original. I think it was an older gentleman they bought it from who had kept it in very original condition. And anyway, they took it to I think it was a shop. I can't get into names here. I can't remember any of them. But they took it to this shop, and it sat there for several months, and they painted it this Monaco Blue color, which, by the way, at the time, I think it was a $12,500 paint job. This is not a Mako paint job. They did incredible work here. Every jam, every little wedge, every little tiny corner, every panel was taken off. They did incredible work. So anyway, they made it so that this thing was in the exact same shape, in the exact same configuration as the one he had in 1963. Anyway, it wasn't without its trouble. On the way, I think it was on the way transporting it back from Anaheim to Calgary, it wouldn't start, and it would start. It was an intermittent no start issue with this thing, and they couldn't figure out what it was. They looked around at different things themselves, and they couldn't figure it out. So I again don't know the name. Took it into a shop, and it turned out it was the neutral safety switch. Now, I believe they never reinstalled the neutral safety switch. So that was actually an issue. That's a whole story with the with the family and the whole neutral safety switch thing with this. So I'm pretty sure it'll start and drive. Anyway, this car here is it's an heirloom. It's been in the family for, well, since 2006, and this is my grandpa's dream car. It's one of those things where the kid does something real nice for their dad, and that's what I want to be able to do on this channel when I'm older. But I mean, this thing is an absolute gem. It is in beautiful condition, and it took a lot to get it to this stage, but every little bit of it was worth it. So anyway, I think it's worth climbing inside for sure. Taking a look inside. One issue that this thing has is with this steering wheel, this horn. It was common with these older cars. This thing clings around when you turn the wheel. That's it, honestly. The horn is beautiful. I mean, this car, these seats, they're insanely comfortable. Everything was, redone. It's absolutely just a fantastic, beautiful car. I think before we take a look at the rest of it, I think it's worth looking under the hood. Under the hood is really kind of where it's at. I mean, this is a 327 small block. It's not exactly speed machine. I drove it today. This thing actually had an issue that I recently fixed. The alternator grounded, thanks to yours truly, and the wiring harness down there went ahead and fried itself. So we had to fix that, and now it runs beautifully. Brand new battery you've got in here, and I drove it today. Very incredible. It's just a 327. It's not tuned or anything. It's got lots of Edelbrock stuff on it. We got to look at this carburetor. Obviously, can't not show you the carburetor. Right here, as you can see, it's a Carter AFB competition series, which is surprising to me. That's actually pretty darn cool there. It's a Carter there. Anyway, choke cable's a little bit stuck, but it still works well enough. So it's got a good carb. It's a really well dialed in engine. I mean, I don't really. It's a small block Chevy. Honestly, there's nothing incredibly remarkable about it, but it's worth taking a look at anyway. It's in good shape, as you can see. The engine block isn't full of rust and grease. The valve covers are new. Intake manifold's in good shape. You've got all the accessories are new, so it's really, honestly, it's a show-worthy engine bay. So anyway, that's pretty much it for under here. Again, nothing else noteworthy. 14-inch rim. But anyway, that's really the gist of it. I mean, you can see it's a hard top. Quite frankly, I'm at a loss of words. Like, really, there's not much else that I know, I don't even know what to say about this thing, but it's worth climbing inside here. It needs some new shocks. The interior is incredibly echoey. That's kind of just how it was back in the day. Of course, you've got your ashtray. You can't have that missing in an older 60s car. You've got your cigarette lighter here and everything, which actually has been used, even though my grandpa has never smoked a cigarette in his life and hates it. It's actually pretty interesting to me. Anyway, we gotta fire this thing up here. Here we go. Let's give it a try. Well, there you have it. Fires right up every time. Oh, man. That is awesome. So anyway, that's really it. Honestly, there isn't a whole lot more to show you. Anyway, I think that's really gonna be it. Honestly, this is just something I've really wanted to bring to the channel for such a long time now. And you know what? In this video, I gotta give a huge thanks to my grandpa for letting me film this car, which is absolutely, without a doubt, his baby. This is not something that he takes lightly. This is absolutely just something that he adores, and he really, I'm really thankful that he let me film it and film it at his house. I mean, this is a beautiful place, obviously, and it's really quite a privilege that I get to film it here. Anyway, you probably saw the shifter in there. It's not a manual. I wish it was, but it's not a manual. It's just an automatic, but still worth driving. So let's see if we can get a quick clip of that. Okay, so I was fortunate enough today to get some driving footage of this car. And today's the first time I've ever driven this car, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Anyway, it's not a manual like I said earlier, but it really doesn't matter. This thing is just so fantastic. And like I also said earlier in the video, it needs some new shocks, which makes it feel more like a sailboat. How you doing? It's just on some country back roads here, and this thing is not like the Mustang, where it's meant for speed at all. This is something I'd like to take down to the coast of California in the summertime. Takes 2 1/4 turns to lock. Just absolutely crazy. What a fantastic experience. It's a little quick if you want it to be, but quick is even the wrong word. It's not meant for that at all. Two 2 1/4 turns to lock is pretty crazy. Sorry, 2 1/2 turns. Pretty fantastic, if you ask me. But I think I'm gonna get out of here, actually. I mean, this is just an absolute treasure. Something that I've wanted to film and experience for a very long time. So I'm glad that you watched this video and you got to see this yourselves. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Seriously, I mean, it's hard not to love this car. So give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. But if you do, let me know how I can improve in the comment section below. And let me know what you want to see. If you want to see this on the channel a little bit more, you gotta let me know. Perhaps we could do a couple other things with it, but honestly, it's not my car. It's really quite sorted, so there isn't really much else that needs to be done to it or experimented with. So honestly, you know, there's not much left to do. So honestly, there's really not a ton of content to bring to you on this. I just wanted to show it to you and have it on my channel. So anyway, thanks again for watching, seriously, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Maybe something else will come along on this. For now, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Jesus, piss off, you pile of garbage. Jesus. Oh my God, they're everywhere. Seriously, God damn it. And look at how many wasps there are. Piss off. Go away.